Joining us now from House Oversight, we welcome back to the show. He's a great guy. He's Congressman Byron Donalds. Congressman, it's great to see you. Okay, this new report. Criminals in Russia and China are stealing extra jobless benefits the government gave out during the pandemic. This is according to analysis reported by the Washington Times from LexisNexis Risk Solutions. Overall, 40% of the more than $700 billion spent on unemployment went to fraudsters. Of that 40%, the majority was stolen by criminals in China and Russia. What do you say?
First and foremost is that this is outrageous. This is what happens when money just goes out way too fast from the federal government. It's very hard to actually check where the money actually is going. That's number one. Number two, Congress needs to investigate this immediately. There has to be hearings in the Oversight Committee getting to the bottom of this, because if we're going to be sending out other dollars out the door, which is what Joe Biden wants to do in this massive budget reconciliation bill, we have to actually realize and understand that that money is falling into fraudulent hands, and we have to do everything to make sure that that does not happen.
Yeah, but there's no tracking of any money whatsoever. Right now. Yeah, Congressman, we hear you loud and clear. By the way, if private companies did this, they would collapse. With government, they just get to print the money. That's what more money. That's what LexisNexis is saying. And they're saying, listen, it's effectively donating $250 billion to transnational criminal groups. But, you know, the money just flew out the door with no oversight. We're talking $6 trillion. Did you see oversight mechanisms put in place to track this? This is money stolen out of Michigan and California and more.
I totally agree with you. I haven't seen any of those mechanisms, which is why I go back to the point. Congress needs to do a full stop on everything it wants to do right now, and we need to investigate this matter fully before we start kicking other dollars out the door. It is outrageous for this money to be stolen, especially for them to be setting up in Russia and China and literally taking this money out of the hands of the American people. First and foremost, but even before you get to all that, we don't need to be doing any more of these extended social programs with federal spending. We need to actually pull this stuff back so our economy can get back on track and people can get back to work fully. We don't need to do any more programs, especially in light of this report.
You know, we just showed a lower third. It's not just California, D.C., and Michigan. Those were spotlighted in the report. It's states across the country. I mean, LexisNexis is estimating the money lost to fraud could have provided $160,000 to each individual in the country below the poverty line, or paid for Harvard University level tuition for 4 years for every 18-year-old in the country. So it's a lot of money. And what's happening is states are not requiring people to self-certify they're jobless. That's happening in states like Michigan, according to this report. Tens of billions flying out the door. The states were not ready to handle this influx. Your final word.
No state was ready or prepared for this. Frankly, nobody was really prepared for this. This is what happens in a catastrophe situation, but this is why Congress has to be extra sober when it comes to spending the people's money, making sure the checks are there. I know members want to help, but you got to not do more harm in the process.
And, you know, Congressman, you raise an important point, because according to this report, we've had the Justice Department and Secret Service testifying that, yeah, fraud like this is a threat to national security, given how these fraudsters are operating out of countries like Russia and China. Your final word.
Oh, they actually go in and either they take identities from American citizens or they fabricate new ones. If you can do that to get money, what else can't you do it? This is a major national security threat. We have a responsibility to make sure we shore this up before Congress does anything else.
All right. Congressman Byron Donalds, it's good to have you back on. Come back again soon.